Well, the Portland International Film Festival kicks off for its 44th year today.
Filmmakers and storytellers from over 34 different countries are sharing their visions, but like many things in 2021, it's going to look a little different this year. Amy Dotson, the Northwest Film Center's director and curator, and Ben Popp, head of artist services, are joining us this morning with all the details. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I have to say, I am just excited that the festival is still happening. I have to imagine that was not an easy feat to get this organized in 2020 and 2021.
Absolutely. We're thrilled. And, we're thrilled to bring it here locally to Portland audiences at Zidell Yards. So we have a really wonderful drive-in program we started this summer that we're bringing back. And yes, in the middle of March, but it's going to be great. And then we, as you mentioned, have 75 films and programs and talks from over 34 countries that are coming to us live in your living room, which is totally different than the way we've done it in the past, but really exciting. And we also are doing our second annual Cinema Unbound Awards, which really honors folks that are making work at the epicenter of art and cinema. And we're so excited that many of our honorees were also honored a couple nights ago at the Golden Globe. So they're Golden Globe winning Cinema Unbound honorees this year. And we're thrilled to bring that to Portland audiences, but also it's available worldwide. So that's really cool. We're bringing the world to Portland and Portland to the world.
I love how all the pivoting that's happened to make everything happen. Ben, Portland Art Museum's Northwest Film Center is one of the oldest and most distinguished media art centers in the country. So it seems like we would be the perfect place. In 44 years, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a amazing work of, legend with this place and the festival as well, but inclusion of all these amazing films from around the world, but also films from our own backyard. So we have over 15 films from Oregon filmmakers. We have the competition Future program that has 8 films that is international, national, as well as one by a local filmmaker, Alicia Rose. So it's fantastic that this whole festival is, incorporation of, again, international cinema, but cinema from the Northwest as well. So it's a really amazing thing all around.
Yeah, it seems like one of the things that that this film festival always does well is working to bring new perspectives and new voices into the fold. I mean, we just saw a lot of conversation around the Golden Globes and kind of a lack of diversity in some of the mainstream filmmaking that we're seeing. So how do you go about selecting what's going to be part of each year's festival? Were there certain messages or people that you were looking for?
Sure. So this year we really reached out beyond our borders. And so rather than just having a team of Portland-based curators, we have curators from all across the country and some that work globally. And so that was a really interesting mix of folks that work their day jobs at other major festivals like the Sundance Film Festival or the South by Southwest Film Festival down in Austin, Texas. But we also invited artists in and producers and folks that maybe didn't always wear a curatorial hat into the mix. And that made for some interesting discussion. And because we're in the middle of a global pandemic, I think the hardest thing was actually telling everybody there were no rules. So that brought up the interesting conversation of, okay, if there's no rules, well, what could we program? How could we program? How could we make it more equitable for our city? And also more interesting to kind of make sure that people outside of our community are seeing the good work artistically and creatively that's happening here. So we're really excited about that shift, just add more voices into the mix at the curatorial table so that it's not coming from a singular perspective, but really trying to open all of our eyes a little more to what's happening around us, which is pretty cool. Ben, do you want to add anything to that since you were one of those programmers right there in the mix?
Yeah, it's always an interesting challenge with a mixture of films that are submitted, films from gathering around the world and locally, nationally. It's always a incredible feat, and we're just always so excited to discover the works that are coming out and being able to, as Amy had said, take a look at what is happening and how it's evolving and how we can be a part of that process, both, you know, equitably to bring in new, different voices, but also different styles, unique visions and whatnot. And so really kind of elevating the festival as well as a experience for our audiences to really kind of be a part of that growing process as well.
Yeah, now real quickly, do each of you have a favorite that you can share with us from this festival?
They're all our children. No. No, I'm most excited about the Cinema Unbound Awards. We have Gus Van Sant, we have Steve McQueen, Garrett Bradley, Alex Bulkley, and the amazing Molly Asher, who is the producer of Nomadland with Chloe Zhao, which is getting major Oscar buzz as well. Yeah. We're so excited to be honoring those folks because they really represent to us Cinema Unbound, that, you know, there are rules and we would love to be in a movie theater and we hope to be again soon, but there's lots of ways to hear a cinematic story, and those folks are really pushing the boundaries. So check that out at cinemaunbound.org, and you can watch it virtually for free anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and be inspired.
Okay, lots to watch this month. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. It's great to talk with you, and best of luck with this year's festival.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, Portland International Film Festival, the 44th festival. Opening night is tonight. For all the details and what to watch, check it out on KOIN.com.